got that iPhone, man. Sick.
Right.
I didn't know that this was a real deal.
Professional.
Yeah.
Rarely have there been a band whose name gives you the clue as to what they sound like. Right? It sounds like there's a
ring,
sort of
ring,
German
ring. That gotta be your name.
Is that Taco Tone?
That's a taco.
Taco Tone, that's awesome. So, we've been talking a lot about the amount of visualization on the show. Onto the show, I know, like, the pilot episode, for example, that song you sang.
Yeah.
I recognized that from stuff we kind of did afterwards. I recognized that from your stand-ups.
I'm not like a traditional stand-up comedian. Like I've toured a lot, done comedy, and I've done comedy on the internet, on YouTube. So I mean, a lot of my sensibilities come into the show, like my sense of humor and like me improvise a lot of stuff. But it's rarely like something that you like premeditate. The only thing that was sort of something that I was doing was the birthday song, which just fits so perfectly. Like I wrote it probably 2 months before we started shooting the pilot, and I was like, they're talking to me about being at a birthday party with the kids, and I told them, I was like, oh, this song that'd be really funny to sing around kids, and they're so awesome, and clearly the censors didn't mind, and they let me do it.
So they let you do a lot of the songs that you write?
Yeah, like the songs that are on the show, we write together. It's me, Jeff and Jackie Schaefer. Like they'll kind of have, like I'll write all the music or half of the lyrics. Like we'll go back and forth on the lyrics because you know a lot of the time it's like something like Vinegar Strokes or Cheer Boners, where they're like, oh, we have this idea about this erection that you get when you are afraid and blah blah blah. We're thinking maybe you have an idea for a song for that. And I was like, yeah, do something like kind of like Simon and Garfunkel would be kind of funny. And then, you know, we go back and forth with the lyrics. I send them like a demo that I record at home. And then we just kind of talk about it. And, you know, like Vinegar Strokes is the same thing. My initial Vinegar Strokes song was like this crazy like dance song. Like, like crazy. And they were like, what if it's like, you know, more of like a 60s kind of thing, you know? And then I went back and I did it, and it became like the Vinegar Strokes that everyone knows, which I think actually worked a lot better than the dance one. So like that's an example of like, you know, going back and forth with them, working on this stuff.
Is it always you in the Mr. McGiblets costume?
Unfortunately, it's always me in the Mr. McGiblets costume. It is so hot in that thing. As soon as they put that big effing head on mine, I have about 30 seconds of oxygen, and it just heats up. And a lot of the time we shoot in LA pretending that it's Chicago in the winter, so I'm like outdoors in 100-degree weather wearing this thing, running down the street, just trying not to pass out. Like that is my performance. Just trying to pass out. Trying to pass out. Oh my god, cut! Rip it off, lie down on the ground. You know, that kind of thing.
I know in the panel they just showed, not this coming weeks, but the week after, you see a lot more of Taco's kind of backstory, explain the name and stuff. Is that something you kind of push for your character? Is that just something that, you know, just kind of happened, or? I
mean, a lot of that stuff, the real like plot stuff and storylines and character casts and traits and everything, it's really like scripted, and like Jeff and Jackie write all that stuff. And then you show up, like our job is to crack jokes, maybe like have this idea of like, oh, I'm gonna say this when I or the way I'm explaining it, maybe I'll do this. But like all those sort of factual sort of plot points are always like in the script, like the flashbacks and like Taco's, how he becomes Taco and all that stuff. Like that's all that. You know, all I can do is like throw in a joke about dog boners or something, and you know, that's our role.
Last question: do you get to come up with all the Taco conventions, or do they?
No, I mean they kind of come up with all of them. I think like there have been a few things that we sort of brainstorm around, like Taco tones and like ringtone stuff that came out of like early just like meetings that we had. But like all of that stuff, like I read it and I laugh. You know, this year there are a lot of fun fun ones. There was the tacos truck that only serves classic American fare. There's one that I won't mention because it's in a future episode. And then there was, the puppy petting, heavy petting. Heavy petting, which is really fun to stream.
On that note.
All those stuff.
We've got to start.
Okay. Well, it's really nice meeting you.
Thank you.